The ship floated silently in space, cold and still. Its metal surface shimmered with strange patterns, like waves of light passing over water. Commander Lucas Briggs watched from the bridge of the Arrowhead. The ship looked like nothing he had ever seen. It had no visible engines, no weapons, no markings. It was just there, waiting. The Arrowhead had picked up a signal 2 days ago. It was a faint pulse repeating every 12 seconds. The signal led them to this place, far beyond the edge of known space. No star charts showed anything here, just empty darkness. Until now, Lucas turned to his second-in-command, Ava Morgan. "Is it doing anything?" Ava shook her head. "No power readings, no movement. It's like it's dead." He nodded. "Let's send a team inside." A shuttle carried a small group over. Lucas, Ava, and 3 others boarded the alien ship. As they stepped into the main corridor, lights flickered on one by one. The walls seemed to glow on their own, like they were alive. "This place is strange," Ava whispered. Her voice echoed. They walked carefully, their boots making soft sounds on the smooth floor. They passed strange panels, thin lines running across them like veins. No controls, no labels, just a maze of soft lights and curves. In the center of the ship, they found a room with a large black sphere. It floated above the floor, not touching anything. Around it, a ring of small white orbs circled slowly. Melody Grant, the ship's engineer, stepped forward. She looked at the sphere with wide eyes. "This looks like a power core, but it's different. No wires, no heat, it's cold." Lucas gave a small nod. "Can you figure out what it does?" Melody reached out slowly and touched the side of the black sphere. It didn't feel like metal. It felt soft, like water wrapped in a shell. The moment her fingers touched it, the whole ship shuddered. Lights along the walls turned bright. The orb began to spin faster. The small white orbs around it glowed blue and rose higher. The floor under their feet pulsed. "What did you do?" Lucas shouted. "I don't know, I just touched it." Melody stepped back quickly. A low hum filled the air. The ship began to move, but there was no engine noise, no rumble. The ship simply shifted position, turning itself gently until it faced the Arrowhead. Back on the Arrowhead, the crew watched in shock. "It's moving," said Ensign Riley from the sensor station. "No heat signature, no thrust. It's just moving." Inside the alien ship, Melody looked around. The lights pulsed in a pattern, almost like a heartbeat. The black orb in the center slowed down again, but the ship remained powered. "I think it's awake," Ava said quietly. Lucas looked at Melody. "Can you talk to it?" She shrugged. "There's no control panel, no screens, but when I touched it, it reacted. Maybe it knows we're here. Maybe it knows me." They stayed on the ship for another hour, walking through rooms and hallways. Every time Melody touched something, it responded. Doors opened, lights followed her. When Ava tried, nothing happened. "It likes you," Lucas said. Melody smiled nervously. "I don't know if that's good or bad." Later, back on the Arrowhead, the crew tried to analyze the ship's energy. Nothing made sense. The readings showed gravity bending slightly around the ship, like the vessel was pulling space toward itself. Lucas stood with Melody in the observation deck. They looked out at the strange ship, now floating alongside them. "You named it yet?" he asked. She shook her head. "It doesn't feel right to name it. Not yet. It's not just a ship, it's something else." Suddenly, a deep vibration passed through the Arrowhead. The alien ship glowed bright blue for a second, then it vanished. Not jumped, not flew, just vanished. "Where did it go?" Ava shouted from the bridge. Riley stared at the screen. "It's not on sensors, it's gone." 10 seconds later, the alien ship reappeared in the same spot, like it had never left. Lucas looked at Melody. "What the hell just happened?" She stared in silence. Her hands shook. "It didn't move through space," she said finally. "It moved space around itself. It bent gravity." Nobody spoke. The only sound was the quiet hum of systems. That night, Melody sat in her quarters. She looked at her hand, the one that touched the sphere. Her skin tingled. A soft light flickered on her palm and faded. She whispered to herself, "It's more than just a ship, isn't it?" Outside, in the endless dark, The alien vessel floated silently once again, but it was no longer asleep. Melody could not sleep that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the black sphere, and the way it had come alive under her touch. The glow on her hand had faded, but she could still feel something, like a faint pulse inside her skin. The next morning, Lucas called the senior crew to the briefing room. His face was tense. "The Confederacy just sent a message," he said. "They want us to tow the ship to HFY Prime for full study." Ava frowned. "We can't move it. We tried. It won't attach to our tow beams." Lucas nodded. "They don't care. They're sending a transport team. We have 2 days." Melody looked uneasy. "I don't think the ship wants to be moved." Eric Monroe, a civilian science officer, spoke up. "It's not alive. It's a machine. It doesn't want anything." Melody glanced at him. "Then why does it only respond to me? Why does it light up when I'm near?" Eric said nothing. He didn't like not having answers. Later, Melody returned to the alien ship with Eva and 2 techs. She walked down the glowing corridors. They lit up as she passed, just like before. She reached the black sphere. It was quiet now, but the white orbs around it still floated gently. She reached out and touched it again. This time, something new happened. A section of the wall opened. Inside was a narrow hallway that none of them had seen before. Melody looked back at Ava. "It's showing us something." They walked inside. The hallway curved downward, leading to a large chamber. The room had no corners, just smooth curves. In the center was a tall structure, shaped like a tree with glowing branches. "What is this place?" Ava whispered. Melody stepped closer. The air felt thick, like the space around her was heavy. She raised her hand. The glowing branches reached toward her. Suddenly, images filled her mind. Stars, worlds, ships flying through folding space. The images were fast but clear. She stumbled back. "Are you okay?" Ava rushed forward. Melody nodded slowly. "It showed me how it travels. It folds space, not with engines, with gravity. It creates its own paths." Eric Monroe joined them later. He stared at the tree-like structure. "You say it gave you visions?" Melody crossed her arms. "Yes, and it opened the path for me. Not you, not anyone else." Eric looked annoyed. "You touched an unknown system. That's not science. That's guessing." Ava stepped in. "Whether it's science or not, it listens to her." They left the chamber and returned to the Arrowhead. Lucas listened to their report in silence. "This changes everything," he said finally. "If this ship can move through space like that, we can't let it fall into the wrong hands." That evening, a message came from HFY Prime. A large research ship was on its way. They would take control in 20 hours. Melody sat alone in the observation deck. She watched the alien ship. It floated quietly, but she felt its presence. It wasn't just metal and lights. It was something more. She spoke softly. "Do you know what's coming? Do you trust me?" Suddenly, the ship lit up. Not bright, but soft pulses ran along its surface. Melody stood. Lucas entered the room behind her. "What did you do?" "Nothing. I just talked to it." The lights formed a path, glowing lines leading from the sphere chamber to the outside hull. Lucas looked worried. "Is it calling you in?" Melody nodded. "I think so." She returned to the ship with Lucas. They followed the glowing path to a small chamber near the rear. Inside, a seat had risen from the floor, shaped like it was built for a human. Melody walked to it. The seat lit up. She sat down. The walls around her shimmered. A control panel appeared in the air. No buttons, just symbols. She reached out. Her hand passed through the panel, but the symbols changed. "It's reading me," she said. Lucas watched. "Can you control it?" Melody closed her eyes. The symbols moved. Outside, the ship began to spin slowly. The space around it shimmered. Riley on the Arrowhead shouted, "Commander, the alien ship is powering up again. Sensors are acting strange." Lucas tapped his comm. "Don't fire. Don't do anything. Stand by." Melody focused. The symbols flowed into patterns. She felt her thoughts stretch outward. It wasn't just controls. It was like dreaming while awake. The ship turned and vanished again. This time she felt it move, not through space, but through something deeper. When it returned, Melody looked calm. "It listens," she said quietly. "It learns." Lucas helped her out of the seat. "We have to keep this quiet. The research team will want to break it apart." Back on the Arrowhead, Lucas gathered the senior crew. "We have two options," he said. "We follow orders, hand the ship over, and hope they don't destroy it. Or we disobey and find out what it really is." Nobody spoke for a moment. Then Ava said, "I trust Melody. I vote we find out." One by one, the others agreed. Lucas nodded. "Then we protect this ship, until we understand it, even if it means running." Outside, the strange ship pulsed once more, like it had heard everything they said, and agreed. The large research ship from Eos Prime arrived a few hours before schedule. It was called the Helios Breaker, and it was twice the size of the Arrowhead. Its gray hull was covered in heavy armor, and its engines roared louder than any ship nearby. On the bridge of the Arrowhead, Lucas watched it arrive with a hard face. "That's a warship in research colors," Ava said quietly. Lucas nodded. "They're not here to study. They're here to take a shum." A shuttle from the Helios Breaker docked with the Arrowhead. A group of officers came aboard. Leading them was Admiral Karen Holt. She was tall, with short gray hair and sharp eyes. She didn't smile. Lucas greeted her with a polite nod. "Admiral." "Commander Briggs," she said. "I am here under direct orders from Central Command. The alien vessel is to be secured and moved to Eos Prime immediately." Lucas kept his voice calm. "The ship won't move. It only responds to one person." Holt raised an eyebrow. "And who is that?" "Engineer Melody Grant." Melody stepped forward. Holt looked her up and down like she was inspecting a tool. "You discovered the interface." Melody nodded. "It responds to me. When others touch it, nothing happens." Holt turned to one of her officers. "Prepare a team to go aboard. I want full scans and a secure perimeter." Lucas stepped in her path. "With respect, Admiral, that's not safe. The ship reacts to input. We don't fully understand how." Holt didn't listen. Her team entered the alien ship. They wore heavy armor and carried tools for cutting and scanning. Inside, the ship stayed quiet. The glowing hulls did not light up. The doors did not open. One of the officers tried to force a panel open with a cutting torch. As soon as the torch touched the wall, the hallway flashed. A pulse of energy threw the officer backward. He hit the ground hard. The ship made a low humming sound. Lights began to flicker. On the Arrowhead, alarms rang. Riley turned from the sensors. "Sir, the ship is charging up. Gravity fields are building around it." Lucas opened the channel. "Admiral, pull your team out now. It's reacting." Inside the alien ship, Holt gave the order. Her team backed out quickly. The lights stopped flickering. The hum faded. Back on the Arrowhead, Holt looked angry. "So it's protected. Fine, but it still needs to be moved." Melody stepped forward. "It doesn't want to be moved. It's not just a ship. It thinks, maybe even feels." Holt laughed. "Don't be ridiculous. It's a machine. You may have found the key, but we'll find a way to override it." Lucas watched her closely. "And then what? Use it as a weapon?" Holt didn't answer. She turned and left the bridge. Later that day, Lucas met with Melody in the engineering room. "She's not going to stop," he said. "She'll force her way in if she has to." Melody looked down. "Then we have to stop her first." "You mean take the ship?" "Yes," she said. "We can leave, before they lock it down." Lucas didn't answer right away. He knew what this meant. Leaving would break orders. It would make them fugitives. But he looked at Melody. She believed in the ship, and the ship believed in her. "We'll need help," he said. "People we trust." They talked to Ava and a few others. Quietly, carefully. Not everyone could be told. If someone said the wrong thing, Holt would find out. That night, Nathan Drake joined the conversation. He was part of the sensor crew. Calm, smart, and always quiet. "You're planning something," he said to Lucas. Lucas stayed calm, just watching. Nathan smiled. "I hope you know what you're doing." But later, Nathan opened a private channel to the Helios Breaker. His message was short. "They're going to steal the ship." The next morning, Holt called Lucas to her office aboard the Helios Breaker. "We received a report," she said. "Someone on your crew believes you plan to take the alien ship." Lucas stayed still. "I have no such plan." Holt stared at him. "I don't believe you, but I have no proof. Not yet." When Lucas returned to the Arrowhead, he gathered the group in secret. Someone talked. "Holt knows. We moved tonight." Melody went to the alien ship alone. The glowing path appeared again. The seat rose from the floor. She sat down. The panel of symbols appeared. "Please," she whispered. "We need to go." The ship lit up. Slowly, quietly, It moved. This time it did not vanish. It turned away from the other ships. The space around it shimmered. Back on the arrowhead, Lucas gave the signal. Detach and follow. Now, the crew moved fast. Engines flared. The arrowhead turned away from the Helios breaker. On the bridge of Holt's ship, alarms rang. Sir, the alien ship is moving. The arrowhead is with them. Pursue, Holt shouted. The chase began. Warships moved into motion, but the alien ship was faster. It folded space in short jumps, slipping forward again and again. The arrowhead stayed close. Inside the alien ship, Melody felt the jumps before they happened. It was like thinking of a place and being pulled toward it. Lucas watched the stars twist and fade. Where are we going? Melody smiled. Somewhere safe, somewhere far. Nathan Drake watched it all from a side panel. He was quiet, calm, but inside, he knew he had started something bigger than he expected, and it wasn't over. The alien ship flew through space like nothing else. It did not need engines or fuel. It bent gravity around itself and jumped through space in ways no human ship could. The arrowhead followed close behind, riding the wave of folded space. Inside the alien ship, Melody stayed in the control seat. She did not press buttons or pull levers. She only thought, and the ship moved. It listened to her thoughts and feelings. She did not fully understand how, but she could feel the ship learning. It was becoming faster, smoother, more alive. Lucas stayed in contact with the arrowhead crew. He gave updates, kept the team calm, and made sure the two ships stayed together. Every jump took them farther from Confederacy space. Every jump made it harder for Admiral Holt to find them. After the fourth jump, the alien ship slowed down. It came to a stop near a dead star, a dark place with no light and no sound. The arrowhead drifted nearby. Lucas called a meeting on board. Ava, Riley, Melody, and two trusted crew members joined him. We're out of their range for now, Lucas said. But we can't run forever. Riley spoke next. I checked our last jump. We're near the old Volari border. Nobody comes here. Too dangerous. Too quiet. Ava nodded. Which is why we should stay, at least for now. If we move again, Holt could track us. Lucas looked at Melody. What about the ship? Can it keep jumping? Melody shook her head. Not now. It's resting. Every jump takes energy. Real energy. I think it needs time to recharge. They agreed to wait. The two ships stayed hidden in the dark, using no lights and silent engines. Time passed slowly. Days felt like weeks. While they waited, Melody spent more time inside the alien ship. She explored new rooms that opened only when she approached. She found smooth panels, soft lights, and strange writing that changed shapes when she looked at it. The ship seemed to be teaching her. One day, she found a small chamber filled with floating crystals. When she stepped inside, images filled the walls. She saw human faces, old and worn. They wore strange clothes and stood beside ships that looked like this one. She called Lucas. Come see this. He entered the chamber and stared at the images. These are humans, but from where? Melody pointed at one image. A group of people stood beside a ship like theirs. The stars behind them were unfamiliar. I think this ship is from an ancient human group, she said. Not aliens. Our own past. Lucas looked closer. That can't be. We would have known. Maybe not, Melody said. What if they left long ago? Went farther than anyone else? What if they never came back? They stood in silence. The ship had not come from aliens. It had come from forgotten humans who had gone beyond. Back on the arrowhead, Nathan Drake watched from a corner. He still acted calm and helpful, but inside he was nervous. He had sent no new messages to Holt. He knew the Admiral would be angry, and he knew they were now too far for her to reach. That night, the stars outside the dark system began to shift. Riley noticed it first. Commander, I see movement, he said. Ships, coming fast. Not Confederacy. Not Volari. Unknown. Lucas ordered the crew to full alert. The arrowhead powered up quietly. The alien ship began to glow again, waking from rest. Melody sat in the seat. They're not human, she said. I can feel it. Lucas nodded. Get ready to move. 3 unknown ships entered the system. They were sharp, dark and silent. No signals, no lights, just motion. They moved toward the alien ship, ignoring the arrowhead. The first ship sent out a beam of light. It hit the alien vessel, but nothing happened. Then the second ship fired a pulse. The alien ship shook, and its lights flickered. Melody gasped. They're trying to shut it down. Lucas gave the order. Riley, fire warning shots. Keep them back. The arrowhead launched small flares and noise pulses. It didn't do much, but it made the strange ship stop for a moment. Inside the alien ship, Melody reached into the control panel. The symbols glowed bright. The ship responded.
A ripple of gravity spread out from the hull. It hit the enemy ships like a wave. One of them twisted in space and lost control. The others backed away. Melody spoke without moving her lips. It's defending itself. Lucas watched the sensors. Good, because we can't fight them all. The alien ship charged again. This time, it sent out a stronger pulse. Space around it bent and twisted. The strange ships jumped away, pulling back into the dark. Silence returned. Melody sat back. They weren't trying to talk. They wanted to steal it. Maybe destroy it. Lucas looked at the screen. We're not alone out here. Not anymore. The alien ship dimmed its lights again. The stars outside glowed faintly. Melody closed her eyes and whispered, I think it remembers them. It's seen them before. Lucas looked at her. Then it's not just a ship. It's a witness. A survivor. Outside, the black space stretched in all directions. Waiting, the strange ships did not return. For 3 days, the system stayed quiet. The Arrowhead remained close to the alien ship, and both crews kept watch. The tension was thick. Everyone waited for something to happen. Melody spent most of her time inside the alien ship. She felt more connected to it now. It answered her faster. Its lights followed her movements. The ship seemed to trust her. Lucas worried. He knew Admiral Holt would not give up, and now there were new enemies in the dark. The crew needed a plan. Ava met with Lucas in the command room. The ship is special, she said. We know that, but why does it respond only to Melody? Lucas leaned back in his chair. We still don't know, but whatever it is, it's tied to her now. We need to protect both. Meanwhile, Nathan Drake stayed quiet. He watched everything, listened to every word. He acted friendly. He helped with ship repairs. But in secret, he worked on something else. A signal beacon. It was small, hidden, and powerful enough to send a burst past the gravity fields. He waited until night shift. Most of the crew was resting. He went to the outer deck and placed the beacon behind a loose panel. Then he activated it. A blue light blinked once, then went dark. The signal was sent. A short message, coordinates, status, and a request. Send help. 2 days later, the signal was answered. The Arrowhead picked up movement. Lucas stood at the bridge window as several new ships appeared. But these were not unknown. They were Confederacy ships, 3 frigates and 1 large dreadnought. Ava read the ID codes. It's Holt. She found us. Lucas clenched his jaw. How? Riley looked up from the console. Someone sent a signal. A short burst, hidden in background noise. Lucas stared ahead. Drake. He gave the order. Lock him down. Now. 2 guards found Nathan near the engine room. He didn't fight. He only smiled as they took him away. You shouldn't have run, he said. You could have been heroes. Now you'll be traitors. Lucas didn't answer. He turned back to the screens. The Confederacy ships were holding position, but not for long. A message came in. Holt's voice was cold. Commander Briggs, you are holding a ship that belongs to the Confederacy. Surrender it now. You have 1 hour. Lucas looked at Melody. What do we do? She closed her eyes. The alien ship can move again, but I don't think we should run. Not yet. Lucas frowned. Why? Because I think the ship wants to talk. Not just with me, with them, with everyone. It's ready. She sat in the control seat again. The symbols lit up. The ship pulsed with energy. A soft hum filled the air. Then a wide beam of light shot from the ship. It was not a weapon. It was a message. The beam stretched toward the Confederacy ships. Inside the Helios breaker, Admiral Holt saw it. Her screens filled with strange patterns. Then for the first time, images appeared. Old images. Humans standing with strange technology. Ships flying through bent space. Peaceful meetings. Warnings. Battles. Destruction. The images stopped. Then a single line of human text appeared. Not a weapon. A door. Holt watched in silence. The room around her was quiet. Her officers said nothing. Back on the alien ship, Melody opened her eyes. It showed them history. Its history. What it is. What it can do. Lucas asked, do you think she'll listen? Melody shook her head. I don't know. The answer came fast. The Helios breaker charged its weapons. They're targeting us, Riley said. Lucas looked at Melody. Can the ship defend itself again? She nodded. Yes, but it doesn't want to fight. Not if it can help it. The alien ship powered up. Its lights turned blue. Gravity fields formed around it. Melody touched the panel gently. Outside, the space around the ship shimmered. Then it spread wider, covering both the alien ship and the Arrowhead. Suddenly, everything moved. The stars stretched. The darkness folded. In 1 second, all 3 ships vanished from their place. They reappeared near a massive gas planet with glowing rings, a quiet part of space. No warships, no signals. Inside the Helios breaker, alarms went wild. Holt shouted, "What just happened? Where are we?" Her science officer stared at the screen. "I don't know, we jumped." But we didn't. The ship moved us, all of us, back on the alien ship. Melody stood up slowly. Her face was pale. That took a lot of power, but I had to do it. Lucas looked around. You moved all 3 ships. Melody nodded. To stop a fight. To show them what the ship can really do. Hours passed. Finally Holt called again. Her voice was calm this time. I want to speak. Just speak. No weapons, no tricks. Lucas agreed. They set up a meeting on neutral ground, inside a small research pod between ships. Holt arrived with 2 guards. Lucas brought Melody and Ava. Holt looked tired. She sat down. That ship, it's beyond anything we know. Melody nodded. It's not just for travel. It's for peace, for connection. Holt paused. Can it be shared? Melody smiled. Maybe, but it won't follow orders. It listens. It chooses. Holt looked at Lucas, then back at Melody. You have one chance. Show us what it wants. Show us what we missed. Melody stood. I will, but not with force, only with trust. The meeting ended. The future was still unclear, but for now, the fighting had stopped. The alien ship floated quietly in space, watching, waiting, and ready.
The gas giant glowed in the background as the alien ship floated silently in orbit. The arrowhead stayed close, and the Helios breaker kept its distance. Days had passed since the jump. No one made a move. Everyone waited. Melody spent her time learning. The ship showed her new rooms each day. Some were filled with lights and sounds she didn't understand. Others were quiet, with floating objects and shifting walls. It was like walking through a dream. The ship now had a name. Melody called it Estrella. The name came to her in one of her dreams, the same way the ship had first called her. It meant star-born in an old language. It felt right. Lucas joined her often. He watched her interact with the ship. He saw how it responded to her. Like a living being, he trusted her, but he also knew others did not. Admiral Holt remained cautious. She held back her ships, but her officers watched closely. They wanted answers, and some of them still wanted control. One morning, Riley ran into the command room on the Arrowhead. "Commander, you need to see this," he said. "We picked up a signal, not from us, not from Holt." Lucas looked at the screen. A slow pulse blinked from deep space. A code, strange but familiar. Ava studied the pattern. "That's Volari. It's old, but it's their language." Lucas nodded. "Looks like someone else is listening." Melody felt a chill when she heard the name. The Volari were not allies. They were powerful, careful, and they feared anything that could upset balance. "They'll think Estrella is a weapon," she said. "We need to talk to them first." Lucas agreed. They used the ship's systems to answer the Volari signal. The response came quickly. A single Volari cruiser entered the system. Sleek and silver, it moved with quiet power. The Volari ship stayed far at first. It scanned the system, then sent a message. "We request contact. No weapons, no lies." Lucas, Melody, and Ava boarded a small shuttle and flew toward the meeting point. Holt did not interfere, but she made it clear she would act if the Volari made a wrong move. The meeting took place on neutral ground, a floating platform built by Estrella. It had formed from the ship's own parts, shaped by Melody's thoughts. The Volari representative was named Errol Vey. He had calm eyes and smooth gray skin. His voice was deep but gentle. "This ship," he said, looking at Estrella, "is not new to us." Melody tilted her head. "You've seen it before." "Not this one," Errol said, "but others. Long ago, ships that broke space and moved between stars without time. We feared them, so we destroyed them." Lucas stayed silent. Ava's hand rested near her holster, just in case. Errol continued. "We thought they were weapons, but now we see. They were tools, bridges, and your kind has found one." Melody nodded slowly. "We didn't mean to find it. It found us." Errol looked at her. "And it chose you. That means something." He turned to Lucas. "But others will come. Some will want to steal it. Some will want to break it. The balance is fragile." Lucas asked, "Will the Volari fight to stop us?" Errol shook his head. "Not yet, but we will watch, and we will protect what must not fall." The meeting ended with no promise, but no threat, just warning. Back on the Arrowhead, Lucas called a meeting with Holt. They met aboard Estrella in a new chamber, one that formed chairs from light and air. "The Volari know about this technology," Lucas said. They've seen it before, and they destroyed it. Holt frowned. Are they planning to attack? Not now, Ava said. But they're watching, and they won't wait forever. Melody stood. We have a choice. Hide this ship, or use it to bring something better. Holt crossed her arms. What does that mean? Melody looked around. The walls showed stars, shifting and spinning slowly. We can use Estrella to connect people, to make peace, travel, sharing knowledge. Holt was quiet for a long time. Then she spoke. Peace sounds good, but this ship is a target. Every day we wait, we risk more. Lucas nodded. Then we need allies, people who want more than power. Over the next week, messages were sent to trusted leaders across nearby systems, scientists, explorers, diplomats, not generals. Some came in secret ships, others sent messages of support. Slowly, a small group formed, a circle of people who believed in Estrella's purpose. One by one, they came aboard. The ship allowed them. It read their thoughts, tested their intent. It welcomed some. It rejected others. It was not a machine. It was a gatekeeper. Melody stood at the heart of it all. She guided them. She listened to the ship, and it listened to her. She didn't rule. She helped. Lucas watched it all grow. A network, a hope. But he knew danger was still near. Holt had warned him quietly. Not everyone in the Confederacy will accept this, she said. Some will call it betrayal. Others will send fleets. Lucas asked, and you? Holt looked out at the stars. I'll give you time, but time runs out fast. That night, Melody walked through a quiet hallway in Estrella. Lights danced on the walls. She touched a panel and saw new stars appear. Places she didn't know. Places they could go. We're not ready, she said softly, but we will be. The ship pulsed gently around her, as if it agreed. Weeks passed as the hidden system near the gas giant became a place of quiet work. More ships arrived, not from fleets or armies, but from scientists, explorers, and thinkers. People who were curious, people who believed in something new. Inside Estrella, new chambers opened every few days. Melody found more tools, more images, and even voices from the past. The ship held knowledge from a time long gone. Human voices spoke in old accents. They talked about hope, peace, and warning. Lucas kept things in order. He made sure the arrowhead stayed ready in case danger came. He worked closely with Ava and Riley, watching the skies, watching the people. But not everyone who came was a friend. One day, a small shuttle arrived. It carried a diplomat named Reed. He wore the badge of the Confederacy, but not everyone trusted him. He spoke with calm words, but his eyes held something else. He asked questions about Astria. He walked its halls and smiled. But he took notes. He watched Melody too closely. Lucas pulled Melody aside. Be careful around him. He says he's here for peace, but I think he's here to report. Melody nodded. I feel it too. Astria doesn't light up near him. It stays dim. Later that night, Reed sent a secret message. He thought no one would find it, but Riley caught it. The message was clear. The ship is growing stronger. They're forming something big. Send fleet backup. Ready to act. Lucas called a meeting. Melody, Ava, and Holt joined him. We have a spy, Lucas said, and now we know the Confederacy is watching closely. They may be planning something. Holt looked serious. I warned you. They will not let this go. Too many see this ship as power, not peace. Melody spoke softly. Then we need to move. We can't stay here forever. Ava asked. Move where? Melody looked at the stars through a glowing panel. Somewhere new, somewhere safe, but also somewhere important. That night, Astria showed Melody a vision, a system on the edge of Volari space, a place full of strange gravity waves and a deep energy well. The ship wanted to go there. The next day, she told Lucas, the ship is pointing us to a place. I think it's part of its past, maybe part of its creation. Lucas agreed. They began preparing for the move. But they were not fast enough. 3 days later, alarms rang. Riley shouted from the bridge. Fleet incoming. Big one. 6 warships. 1 dreadnought. It's Holt's flag, but she's not in command. Lucas looked at the screen. Then who is? The face that appeared on the message screen was General Price. Cold eyes, harsh voice, known for ending problems fast. You are holding stolen property, Price said. You will surrender the ship and the people leading this project. You have 1 hour. Lucas stared. And if we don't, we destroy the ship, and all of you with it. Ava cursed under her breath. Holt stepped forward. He's not bluffing. He sees Austria as a threat. Melody sat in the control seat inside the ship. Austria responded with soft light. It knew. It was ready. She looked at Lucas. We can protect ourselves. But if we fight, things change forever. Lucas nodded. We may not have a choice. The fleet moved into position. Weapons powered up. But before Price could give the order, the Volari returned. 3 silver ships appeared without warning. They did not fire. They sent one message. If you fire on the bridge, we will break the bridge. Price growled. Is that a threat? Errol Va's face appeared on all screens. It is a truth. This ship is not yours to destroy, nor to rule. Tension filled the air. Lucas stepped in. We ask only for peace. Let us move. Let us finish what was started. Price paused, then gave the order. Stand by. Wait. Melody took a deep breath. She pressed her hand to the panel. Austria glowed. The space around the ship began to shift. The other ships felt it. Gravity pulled, then released. Then the jump began. In a single moment, Austria, the Arrowhead, and the Volari ships vanished. The warships were left behind. Price slammed his fist down in anger. On the other side of the galaxy, the group arrived. The system was dark, but full of energy. A star pulsed with strange light. And in orbit, a field of ancient structures floated like broken bones. Melody stepped out into a chamber that opened like a garden. Light fell from above. A quiet song filled the air. This is the place, she said, where it was built, where it all began. The others walked slowly behind her. The structures glowed. The ship pulsed. And far away, the stars watched. As the war began to shift, the broken remains of the ancient station floated around the glowing star. The energy in this place was different. It felt alive. The ship called Austria pulsed with steady light, as if it had come home. Melody stood in the central chamber. She placed her hand on the control panel. The ship opened another room, deeper than any before. Lucas, Ava, and Errol followed her inside. The room was quiet. The walls showed images, not of war, but of peace. Ancient humans standing beside Volari, working together, building something, a great project. A network of ships like Austria. Melody looked around. This was a dream they had long ago, to connect the stars. Errol stepped closer. They failed. Fear won. Lucas asked, "Can we finish it?" Melody did not answer yet. She stepped into the center of the room. The ship responded. A light rose around her, soft and warm. A voice filled the chamber. It was not hers. It was old, calm. "Welcome back," the voice said. "The path is not broken, only waiting." Ava stared. "What is that?" Melody smiled. "The ship's memory. Maybe more than that. A guide." The light showed new images. A map, dozens of systems, points of light connected by curved lines. Some glowed bright, others faded. One was blinking red. "That's a warning," Lucas said. Errol nodded. "A system in danger." The ship's voice spoke again. "The path must be protected. Balance must return." Melody turned to Lucas. "We need to go there. It's part of the network. Maybe the last piece." They prepared quickly. Holt gave her quiet support, though she remained on the edge of command. She had changed, but her duty still weighed on her. "You're risking everything," she told Lucas. "We already did," he replied. "Now we're trying to fix it." The jump took them to a system full of storms, a dying star, a broken moon, and orbiting the moon, a battle. Ships fought with no flags. Raiders, old war machines, and stolen tech. In the middle of it all, a small station tried to hold on. "That's the target," Riley said. "They're trying to break into the core." Melody sat in the control seat. Austria responded with speed and power. The ship moved into the middle of the fight. Gravity waves spread from its surface. Enemy ships turned, confused by the strange force. Lucas gave orders. "Defend the station. No killing unless there's no choice. Push them back." The Arrowhead followed closely. Ava led a fighter team. The Volari ship stayed high, using precise pulses to disable weapons without destroying ships. The battle lasted only minutes. Austria bent space around the attackers, pushing them far without damage. The enemy ran. They could not fight something they could not touch. After the battle, they docked with the station. It was small and old. A caretaker AI greeted them. It had waited for a signal that never came. "You are late," the AI said. Melody answered gently. "We didn't know we were expected." The AI showed them a room deep inside the station. In it stood a machine like Austria, but broken and silent. A sister ship that never woke up, the AI explained. This station held a gate, a test, a link in the chain. Without it, the dream died. Melody walked to the broken ship. She reached out. Austria glowed behind her. The air shifted. A hum grew louder. Then, slowly, the broken ship lit up. Lights flickered. Systems came online. The gate was open again. Lucas whispered, "She did it." Errol watched with quiet respect. "The path lives." They returned to the hidden system days later. Now the network was active. Ships came not to fight, but to learn. More Volari arrived. Humans from other colonies. Even silent watchers from distant stars. A council was formed. Not of generals, but of thinkers. People who wanted to protect, not rule. Melody was asked to lead, but she said no. "I'm only a voice. The ship chose me. Now it will guide all of us." Lucas stayed by her side. He knew they were not finished, but they had started something no one could stop. Holt returned to Confederacy space. She gave a full report. Some leaders were angry. Others were amazed. Over time, fear turned to curiosity. Nathan Drake, still under guard, watched the news with quiet regret. He had chosen wrong. But even he saw what was happening now. The ship called Estrella became more than a ship. It became a symbol, a start. The dream from the past had become the hope of the future. Melody stood once more in the first chamber. Stars moved across the walls. She touched a symbol. A new path opened. She smiled. "Let's see what's next." The ship agreed. It turned gently and reached for the stars.